Good morning. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to anyone watching in North America. And hello to everyone watching on replay. My name is Nancy Hetker, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. And today I'm going to make a card for you with the Welcoming Window bundle. Now, this came out in the January to June 2021 mini catalog, and happily it is carrying over into our annual catalog. It has carried over. So I have done several cards with this that you guys haven't seen because it was done for a product playground class, and participants in that got 2 different kits in 2 different months, each one featuring 4 card designs. And yeah, so I feel like I've played with this quite a bit, but I realized last night that none of you guys have seen me play with it because it was all done for that class. So I'm going to make a card for it with it today. If you're here, please leave me a comment telling me you're here. I love to know who's following along. And yeah, we're going to get started here. I've got an idea in my head about what we're going to do. Some details may not be quite finalized, but that just makes it more fun as we go, right? So remember, if you're here, please say hello so I know, and we'll get started. Oh, I do have a tip to get started here. Before you take your stamps off the sheet where it's printed, this sheet, I'll try to show you here, it has on the leaves and the flowers, this is what I'm trying to say here, it has little arrows that show some orientation. And I took one of my Stampin' Blends, or you can take any permanent marker, and I just put a dot on the base of the stamp where those arrows were, and that the arrows are there to help you line up the orientation, but when the stamp is mounted on your block, it doesn't do you any good unless you've also marked on the stamp itself. So that I found useful for me. Excuse me here one second. Sorry about that. Hello, Joyce. Thanks for joining me this morning. So I'm going to go ahead. I wanted to show you that, so I didn't mount these in advance. I'll just take a moment and do that now. Yeah, we are having so much fun here with our lockdown. So now you can see that dot is there. It doesn't have to be really, really specific. It just has to give me the right idea of where I'm aiming things. And yes, photopolymer stamps do stain a bit, but that's okay. That doesn't transfer to other projects. Find another block here. I'm going to use those. I'm going to use this window stamp. These are so fun. I'm going to use this shutter stamp. I've already mounted the bricks. Oh, we're going to use all of these too. I may have to go peel some stamps off some other blocks here, but we'll get it done. All 3 of these. We're just going to go on a block all together. Let's see. And I think I'm going to use this sentiment. Okay. So again, welcoming window. Lots of things to stamp. I'm going to bring in, I have a Stampin' Pierce mat, and I've just covered it with a bit of the grid paper, because as you'll see on this first bit of stamping, I stamp off the edge of the paper sometimes, and it's nice to have it protected so I'm not having ink on the mat itself. And the reason we do the mat is because photopolymer stamps do not have a foam cushion built in the way red rubber stamps do. You get a better impression if you have some cushioning, so we put it underneath. Now, you can see this stamp is designed to kind of interlock with itself, and I'm starting off the page there. And these don't have to be done perfectly. It's one of the nice things, because walls do often kind of settle a little bit differently. So now I'm starting this, I started it a little bit off up there, I'm starting it a lot off here. Just again, so the bricks don't line up, because when you lay brick, they don't line up perfectly. Well, I know we're not supposed to dwell on COVID a whole lot, but that's really the big news here. We've been on lockdown since late last Thursday night. And unfortunately, our cases just continue to expand. So everyone's predicting that sometime this morning they're going to tell us our lockdown is going to be extended past this Thursday night. We're supposed to be 7 days, but we're going to be longer, I think, which is, you know, we do what we need to do. There, now I've got my brick wall. And I'm going to set that aside for a few minutes. So that was Sahara Sand ink. And now I'm going to do some stamping that's going to wind up getting cut out. So I think Cajun Craze makes perfect terracotta plant pots. So I'm going to stamp those right there. And maybe one more time just to get it a little darker. There we go. Let's see, I'm going to do one set of leaves in Evening Evergreen. I think I'm going to do 2 of those. I'm going to do one of this set of leaves in Soft Succulent. I can see a few people have joined us. Please do say hello so I know who's here. There we go. And I'm going to do, I'm not mounted up. There we go. Just a little set of leaves also in the soft succulent. Come on. Now we'll add in some flowers. Yeah, I pulled out all the new in colors again because why not? And I think it's, yeah. This is the Fresh Freesia. And we're going to line that up like so. And what for this? Do the polished pink for the other flowers. You can see how these get stained, right? They just, there we go. And not so excited about that. Let's stamp it again. Go. Do a better job lining up this time, maybe. It's a bit better. And what else do we have here? That one. I'm also going to stamp one of the jugs. See how that goes. Okay, and then set that one aside. Now we need a window. Whoop, sorry about that. And we need some shutters. And I keep hemming and hawing about what color shutters. I think I'm going to do a blue. Let's see how this looks. This is Misty Moonlight. It's a little bit lighter than Night of Navy. But I think it's going to be pretty good on there. Okay. So now I get to do a bunch of die cutting. I will bring in my Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine, and we will do that. Now I'm going to start by cutting out a window box, and this is a piece of Sahara sand, which is what I did these bricks in, and it's got adhesive sheet on the back, and I'm just going to cut out this window box, and the die has a wood grain embossing pattern on it, so sandwich that up. Run that through. And there you can see is my window box ready to go. So I'll just set that aside. I'm going to turn this. Easier to go back and forth, I think. So this comes with dies to do all kinds of great things. I don't know that these really are designed any particular way to line up, but there we go. Let's see if I can get a couple of these at the same time. Put that on at an angle and place it down, and then hope that they don't move. It would be nice to have a working magnetic sheet again, but I think that got all of them well enough. Oops. Okay, set those aside. Let's see how many of these I can get placed and cutting accurately. Am I pushing my luck? Let's see. Okay. See how we go. Yeah, we did well. Okay, these two. Yeah, I remember that one wasn't my favorite, but we'll see what we wind up doing. Okay, that's it for the dies. And I know I still have this one up here in the corner, but that didn't come with a die. So this is what I found. I'm gonna do a quick little fussy cut. And as always with fussy cutting, turn the paper, not your scissors. And get here. And then what I did was keep, you see I've kept that tab there because that's what's going to adhere. Let's do a little, where's the smallest pot? There we go. So that's going to fit perfectly on there, but we're going to so that's left something for it to adhere to. So I'm going to put a little dab of glue, just a little dot. And let's line that right up there. There. And if you don't like it being quite so squared off, you can go back in and give it a little more shape. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to bring some things in. To lay out. I've got a piece of, this is again Sahara sand. So let's start laying out how we're going to do some things. There's the window. The window box. And the shutters on either side. The window box will go down a little bit lower. I like that pop of blue. And I think the jug will sit on there. This is why we're playing a little bit. We're trying to get our spacing right. Maybe the jug will go on that side and this one will go on this side. We're figuring it out here. all keep moving, don't they? Like so. And then the one other thing I don't have on there yet is the sentiment. I put somewhere. Somewhere here. Just figuring out what color. It says, sending sunshine for a beautiful birthday. When in doubt, I default to birthdays because I send lots and lots of birthday cards. And here's a reminder, it's June. Make sure you've checked your June birthdays and gotten them going. Bring in, I think that will work perfectly. Yep. Just gonna do this off to the side here. There. What do you think? Time to get it all in place, huh? Okay. So if you're here, if you've joined partway through, please do say hello. I do think these work nicely. They don't have to be perfectly lined up. Whoop, but not like that. Let's get you back up here. Okay, so this had the adhesive sheet on the back. You don't have to. This is actually big enough that you could use dimensionals or glue. I just sometimes find it easier. Try to get it evenly under the window and the shutters. There we go. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and glue this onto the front. Bring in some dimensionals. if you like this welcoming window bundle and you'd like to get some of the directions, or get the directions that I made for the product playground, I am selling the PDF directions for $20. I will have those on my website. They are currently written just with centimeter measurements. If you want them in inches, let me know, and I will do a version that has the inches conversions. That's what I'm trying to say. But like I said, so far I did them for my people here in Australia, and it's just in centimeters. But if you're buying it in North America and want it in inches, I will do a version for you. This one I'm going to do a little differently. I'm going to do the flowers first. Because I want to choose where I put them. There we go. Now I'm going to slide this underneath. Go. Let's see. Put that on. There we go. What do you think? Noah is not in his crate. Noah actually just walked behind me and went and has laid down on the mat in my office, my craft room, where he's supposed to hang out when I'm in here. He's done a good job with that. In a moment I can pull the camera off and show him to you if you want. But yeah, no, he's happy. Glenn's home. I'm home. We've been home for a week. It's just crazy here. There was an announcement on a neighborhood group that our local primary schools had 2 cases and it's shut down. Which, yeah, so the schools have actually been only open to essential workers' kids for the last week, but now it's closed down because there have been 2 infections. So anyhow, we'll see what they're announcing here this morning, and if we go back into lockdown for another period of time, especially if you're in Australia, but anywhere, keep an eye out because I'm going to announce a special crafting session for Sunday. If we're back in lockdown, and maybe anyway, just for something to do, although I think people will try to be doing anything but being inside if we're not in lockdown. But so stay tuned for that. Thanks for joining me for this. Close your eyes for a moment if you don't like the camera moving a lot, because I will flip around here and show you guys Noah. Vaccination rates. There's Noah. vaccination rates are steadily growing because there was a lot of hesitancy. And, well, we'll just wait and see because we didn't have COVID, but now we've got COVID. And yeah, so, and they also last Friday opened up vaccinations for anyone 40 and over. So between COVID coming and the vaccination age being dropped, the rates are going up. But yeah. Okay, well, that's what I have for this week. Noah and I say goodbye, and we will see you same time next week, and very likely on Sunday if you decide to join in. Like I said, I'll send out announcements. Keep your eyes out. Maybe you'll do some crafting with us. Thanks. Bye-bye.